Do you know the cruelest lie society brainwashes us with from childhood? It is this: just be kind, and life will be kind to you. The truth is, being an unconditionally good person does not bring peace. It is the fastest ticket to being exploited and betrayed. Welcome to the dark side of the truth. Today, we are not here to preach empty morals. I know you are exhausted from constantly forcing yourself to be the good guy, biting your tongue and taking the loss just to please others. You are being used because you are playing by the rules of angels in a society filled with those who are not good. To end this cycle of resentment, we are going to open chapter 15 of Niccolò Machiavelli's The Prince. If you stay with me for the next few minutes, I promise to shatter every moral illusion that is holding you back. You will learn the art of being ruthlessly calculated, to take back the respect you rightfully deserve. For thousands of years, philosophers have preached to us about an ideal world. They taught us how human beings ought to live. But right at the beginning of chapter 15, Machiavelli throws a bucket of ice water on humanity. He writes, "There is such a vast distance between how we do live and how we ought to live. Many have imagined republics and principalities that have never truly existed. Anyone who abandons what is actually done for what should be done is digging their own grave." Look at your own life. Are you living in that imaginary world? You believe in instant karma. You believe that if you yield, your co-workers will respect you. You believe that if you sacrifice everything and take all the hits, your company will reward you. You are playing a game with the rules of angels, completely forgetting that you are standing among a pack of wild wolves. And from that bitter reality, Machiavelli delivers a quote that defined his entire legacy, a bloody truth, in chapter 15. "A man who wishes to make a profession of goodness in everything must necessarily come to ruin among so many who are not good." Listen very carefully. Come to ruin. Not just take a small loss, but utter destruction. Why is this? Because goodness, when displayed constantly and unconditionally, never breeds respect. It broadcasts a biological signal to the predators around you. Here is prey with no boundaries, a free resource ready to be drained. When you bring moral standards to fight people who are willing to bend the rules, lie, and stab you in the back, you cannot win. You are just a sheep trying to use logic to convince a pack of wolves not to eat you. To prove this tragedy of being crushed, history left behind a chilling lesson about Girolamo Savonarola, a pure and idealistic leader of 15th century Florence. Savonarola was a deeply righteous man. He ruled the state not with swords or cruelty, but with morality, sincerity, and inspiring sermons. At his peak, the citizens worshipped him like a saint. They willingly threw their jewels and luxuries into the fire to prove their purity according to his teachings. Savonarola suffered from the illusion that as long as he did good deeds, his morality would be an immortal shield protecting him. But harsh reality struck. When Florence fell into famine and economic crisis, moral sermons, no matter how beautiful, could not fill empty stomachs. The crowd instantly turned their backs. Ruthless political enemies fabricated lies, slandered him, and incited riots. At this exact moment, the fatal flaw of always being the good guy was exposed. Savonarola had no army, no ruthlessness, and no capacity for deterrence. He was completely powerless against political manipulation. Overnight, the very crowd that once bowed to him tore him down. This righteous leader was stripped of all power, tortured and judged by his own people with the most brutal sentence, and erased entirely from Florence. His goodness was literally crushed to ashes by the treacherous nature of the masses. Witnessing that downfall, Machiavelli realized the dark half of the world's truth. So, what is the solution? What does Machiavelli teach us in chapter 15 to avoid repeating that tragedy? Must we transform into petty, evil villains? Not at all. Machiavelli's greatest advice is not about forcing you to become evil. He writes this: "A man who wants to survive must learn how not to be good, and use this knowledge, or not use it, according to the necessity of the situation." Learning how not to be good. This is a skill, not a personality trait. To master this, you must combine the art of the fox and the lion. The lion is powerful but cannot protect himself from traps. The fox is cunning but cannot defend himself from wolves. Learning how not to be good means using the eyes of the fox to see through the fake flattery of a coworker trying to throw you under the bus. You recognize their dark motives. And then, you use the ferocity of the lion to establish a boundary. You do not scream or shout. You simply look straight into the eyes of the person trying to use you, hold a 3-second silence to create psychological pressure, and firmly say the word, no. That action might offend them. It is not a nice thing to do according to the standards of compassion. But it is an absolutely necessary action for your survival. And this brings us to the final, most crucial point of chapter 15, the paradox of virtue and vice. Machiavelli asserts, something which looks like virtue, if you follow it, will lead to your ruin, while something else which looks like vice will bring about your security and well-being. Sounds completely backwards, right? Let us look at a real-world example. Imagine you are managing a team. In your group, there is an employee who works lazily, has a toxic attitude, and constantly pushes the risk onto others. But this person is always playing the victim and complaining about their hardships. If you use your compassion and tolerance to protect this person, outsiders will praise you as a highly moral boss. But what is the reality? Your tolerance is trampling on the hard work of the diligent people left on the team. It creates silent resentment and destroys the entire system. Blind virtue, in the end, creates ruin. On the other hand, what if you use calculated cruelty? You immediately fire that destructive individual. You get labeled as heartless, as cold-blooded. That action has the appearance of a vice, but it restores order, protects the livelihoods, and ensures fairness for the entire group. Cruelty, when used at the right time and with calculation, becomes the highest form of mercy. The truth is always bitter. The more you sacrifice yourself unconditionally, the more the world despises you. But when you know how to pull that kindness back and swing the sword of reality, a miracle of power will occur. We have reached the very bottom of the dark side. If there is only one thing you take away from this video, let it be this: stop being a broken-winged angel. Throw away the toxic illusion that endurance will be rewarded. Do not bring morality to deal with unscrupulous people. Learn to put your kindness away when necessary. Equip yourself with the eyes of the fox to see through fake facades, and put on the ferocity of the lion to protect what you cherish. Never feel guilty for having to be cold. True goodness is when you have enough power and ruthlessness to completely crush someone else, but you choose not to do it. Your kindness is a diamond. Stop scattering it on the sidewalk for those who do not know how to value it. Have you ever paid a heavy price for trying to be a good person? Tell your story down in the comments section. This channel is a safe space, and I will read every single one. If you are ready to let go of your naivety, simply knowing you should not be the good guy is not enough. You need a weapon. In next week's video, I will guide you through Machiavelli's greatest survival technique, the mindset of the fox, and how to establish the ruthless boundaries of the lion. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell right now to make sure you do not miss this ultimate weapon. Finally, do not be a powerless good person. Sharpen your claws, not to slaughter the world, but so the world can never, ever tear apart the goodness inside of you. Goodbye, and I will see you again on the dark side of the truth.